The unitary state winds up either being an apartheid state with second-class citizens, or it winds up being a state that destroys the capacity of Israel to be a Jewish state. Once you have put that frame in your mind, that reality, which is the bottom line here, you understand how imperative it is to get to the two-state solution.
Well, I think his meaning of any comments he makes is his support for a two-state solution and his belief that it's hard to see how the parties can prosper without it.
Well, a lot of reaction. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican, going to the Senate floor calling for Kerry to step down, saying the president accept his resignation. You have Democratic Senator Mark Begich issuing a statement. I'm disappointed with Secretary Kerry's reported remarks that Israel could become an apartheid state if a two-state solution is not negotiated soon. This remark also implies Israel should ignore the pact between President Abbas and Hamas. Last time I checked, the U.S. didn't negotiate with terrorist organizations, and we shouldn't expect the Israeli government to either. And then Barbara Boxer, Democratic senator, with this tweet: Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, and any linkage between Israel and apartheid is nonsensical and ridiculous. Charles.
Well, it's beyond nonsense. It's pernicious and extremely harmful. What the Secretary of State of the United States has succeeded in doing, in what he thought was a private comment, is to echo and therefore to legitimize the worst of the libelous calumnies against the Jewish state. If there is one minority in the Middle East that enjoys the rule of law and protection and democracy, it is Arabs in Israel. 1 out of every 5 Israelis is a Palestinian. Overwhelmingly, they're Muslim. There are Arabs in the government, in the Supreme Court, in all walks of life, in the universities. There's actually affirmative action if you're a Palestinian in the universities. And to compare that in any way with the systematic discrimination against black Africans in South Africa is truly appalling and hurtful. I think Cruz is right. This is beyond something requiring an apology. I think this is a resigning type statement. This is an injury to an ally that will echo, because it will be repeated. And people will say, I'm not saying this. It's a Secretary of State of the United States. It is untrue, it's pernicious, and it's truly something that demands, at the very least, an immediate apology.
Your quick reaction?
I think Abe Foxman of the ADL was right when he said it was undiplomatic, unwise. But clearly, I think that the Secretary is trying to pressure Israel to negotiate. Don't forget, Israel has occupied territories. Israel is a Jewish state, a religious state, and it does endanger its own standing if it forces itself to become unitary and somehow then have to contain all of the Palestinian territory.
He has legitimized the use of a word that has no application.
He did not say it in public, Charles.
But whether he did or not, it's now public.
Believe me, people have been saying this about Israel for some time.
But he is the Secretary of State, and he has now legitimized it and encouraged it, and it will be used against Israel. You can be sure.